Kane Lynch is a weird game. Some people like it, a lot of people hate it. And there's me, I don't like it at all. This game is so bad, it made me rage out of my mind. The worst thing about the game is pretty much the gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I love third-person shooters. There's just something really fun about taking cover and shooting hundreds of men down, feeling like a complete badass. And from the trailers, that's what I thought I would be playing, but nope. First off, the shooting feels terrible. Every gun has so much recoil. Every time I took a shot, I was afraid I will lose the enemies from my sight. And not only that, the guns are so inaccurate that I don't even know why they bothered putting crosshairs in this game. Sometimes it's even easier not to aim at all, because it's easier just to make it rain bullets at your enemies than actually trying to hit someone. And also, if you're close to a wall, your bullets sometimes tend to hit the walls instead of the enemies you're aiming at, which is pretty weird and it's not okay. I just really wanted to like this game. To me, it looked like it could be a lot of fun. But I was wrong. They even fucked up the cover system. I don't know how, but this is the worst cover system I've seen so far in a video game, period. Every time I try to go into cover, it never works. And every time I try to aim and shoot someone, he goes into cover. What the fuck is that? The easiest way they could have fixed that is if the cover system was activated by using one of the face buttons, like press X to go into cover. This would have been so much easier, and then I wouldn't have the issue of going into cover when I'm actually not supposed to. It's just weird the way it all works. I don't even know what to say. We also got another mechanic in this game, which is adrenaline shots. It's basically just a recovery system or a revive system. Basically, when you get gunned down, you can get an adrenaline shot, which will keep you on your feet, but if you get too much of it, you overdose. Too much of it actually means if you get 2 shots in a row, pretty much. And because of that, you actually get an incentive to play more defensively, which I find a lot of fun, to be honest. In this game, you also have squad commands, but I don't think they work as the developers actually intended them to work. They are honestly only useful when you're in some more intense battles, and the only reason they actually are useful is because your teammates actually can die and you can fail the mission because of that. And you have to go back. Well, it isn't my fault you ran into 10 people, you dumbass. Not being careful, not following my commands. Why should I be punished for it? And sometimes you can't even revive them because there's too much fire coming at you. Or they're just hanging in the air where you can't even reach them. Well, that's fun. That's fun, you know? Maybe the more interesting thing about the gameplay are actually the locations. I mean, they're good. They are more realistic and open. I don't know how to describe them exactly, but the bad thing about the locations is that the level design itself on most missions is pretty bad. Like, the locations are good, but the level design of the game is pretty bad. So bad, in fact, that in one mission, I'm talking about the club mission, you have to go through the same place twice. Yeah, what? The first time there was a big crowd of civilians, and the second time there was nobody. It was just so lazy, but still, I mean, you had to do it twice, which kind of shows how lazy the level designers actually were. Anyways, interesting thing is that almost every chapter you wear a different outfit, which is a small detail, but it was clearly noticeable, and I really like that because in most games during that time, 2007, most of the characters just wear the same outfit and they don't even bother to change outfits, even if it's trying to be a realistic game. But here you actually change outfits every chapter, which is pretty cool in my mind. So the gameplay in general was just very, very disappointing. And yet another ugly thing about the game has to be the visuals. Even for 2007, as I said, these are some very bad visuals. Or maybe it was supposed to be a PS2 game and then it just jumped a generation or something, I don't know, but the game looks pretty bad. I don't know, I don't care. Well, one of the most baffling things is that actually the story had a lot of potential, just the execution was so bad. The game is very bad at explaining things and making you actually care about anything that's happening. It's like they expect you to know all of the backstory and expect you to care about everything straight away. Well guys, that's not how it works. So, the story starts off from Kane Lynch's escape from jail while they're being transported. But it isn't far off when we learn that actually the person behind Kane's escape is not actually Lynch, but none other than his former gang called the Seven. That's a pretty cool name, to be honest. And basically the Seven are just a bunch of old farts trying to retire, but they need Kane's stash that he looted during the last mission before getting arrested. And like in most action storylines, the Seven hold Kane's ex-wife and daughter hostage. So, you might be asking, but where's Lynch in all of that? I mean, the game is called Kane Lynch, isn't? Well, sorry to break your bubble, but Lynch is just a watchdog. He's basically there just to report to the Seven what's going on. And that's as much as I'm gonna talk about the story because I'm trying to avoid some spoilers here. Not that you would wanna play this game anyways. But the bad thing about the story is that I can see it working. I can see it actually being a very emotionally impactful story. There's a lot of twists that are really good, and the dynamic between Kane and Lynch can actually work. You know, they curse at each other a lot.
I'm serious. Just do as I tell you and don't fuck around.
Lynch, shut up!
Is there a problem?
No problem. Just give me a sec. Lynch, calm the fuck down!
But the developers had to fuck it up because from the trailers, I was led to believe that Lynch was a badass lunatic.
I don't have to listen to your shit. Lynch, snap out of it. Lynch, don't kill the hostages. I might have my issues, but I know what you did. I've seen the pain you've caused, you fucking traitor.
And Kane was some badass criminal, but playing the game you can see that Lynch was just so laughingly bad. His psychotic episodes could have been cool, but they were completely predictable, and they had the opportunity to make some great Max Payne style cutscenes, disorienting the player, you know, a little bit, of just Lynch losing his mind, but it was all just wasted potential. And I am just very disappointed. Kane is also surprisingly boring. A marine that's a traitor trying to save his own ass and nothing else. It could have worked. It could have. But it doesn't. And let me repeat that. Kane is an ex-marine and he can't even shoot a gun. I mean, do you call that shooting, bro? Anyways, after beating this game, the rest of the game modes are pretty bare bones. I mean, but that's as much as you need. For me, honestly, a game needs only a single player and split screen. I don't care that much about the multiplayer, but the multiplayer on the PS3 anyway seems to be dead, so I couldn't play it. And the split screen co-op is actually a lot of fun. I just had 1 hour of playing it, but it was way more fun than actually playing it by myself. So if you play this game, just play it with a friend because it's gonna be more fun than playing solo. So overall, this game is just so much wasted potential, and I usually like a lot of games that are considered bad. I actually like games like Splatterhouse, games that are considered bad. I mean, I love Dante's Inferno, I love Darksiders, I love what else? Jesus, what else? But this game is just so bad that I can't say that it's good. It's just infuriatingly bad. The story had a lot of potential that was just wasted. I really wanted to see a gripping and mature story about the life of Kane Lynch and their revenge and all of the troubles they get themselves into. That's all I wanted. I wanted that. But everything is held back by bad voice acting, bad animations, bad visuals, and a bad gameplay, and a bad gunplay, even some bad level design. I can't really recommend this game, except if you wanna have some laughs with a friend, then maybe play the co-op, but for solo players, I can't really recommend this game, and that's kinda breaking my heart.
Side notes.
You know, I really thought that Kane Lynch would be a game that I would like. I mean, to be honest, at first I was really excited to play it, but after playing it, I don't really know if I should even touch the second one. Because most people seem to like the first one and pretty much disregard the second one. I mean, is it really gonna be that much worse? Well, I guess I'll find out. Another thing, I really think that we should have gotten a little bit earlier in the story mode. Maybe we should have had like chapter 1 with Kane in prison, meeting him as a character, you know, getting a bit of a feel for him. Just the whole beginning of the game felt very rushed. But it wasn't the only problem in the game, I mean, yeah. Maybe if the developers decide to make a remaster or like recreate this game, it would be a great. If they work more on telling the story instead of expecting the player to actually know everything from the start, and if they fix the gameplay, I mean, I just know that this could be a great game. You have great characters with great story that's told very poorly, so there's nothing holding it back. Maybe it could become a classic one day, who knows? But where I stand now, this game is just some wasted potential and nothing else. Anyways, if you like this video, you know what to do. My name's The Twisted and I'm out. Peace.